I've made a compilation from my YouTube garden diaries and chosen just a few edits from our garden through 2022. This is the day when my 34 years of wildlife gardening was renewed and invigorated.
I have to say, I think, hand on my heart, this is probably the most natural garden I've ever visited.
It has to be managed a little bit. You can't have it going completely wild,
That's
even
right.
though I love wild things, but it's managed so it's very presentable, and it does give me and my wife a lot of pleasure, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely, I can see that. And you're right, it is just, you know, if we were just...
After a very interesting visit from Joel Ashton, an established landscape and wildlife garden designer, he's encouraging me to stop mowing the lawn in his new campaign, No More Summer. So I'm following his suggestion. He also suggested that I make a few short films on the progress of our garden through the summer. So with a bit of renewed enthusiasm, I hope to publish a few films as the garden season progresses. It's about 6 weeks since I stopped mowing 2 areas of the lawn, and it's amazing what flowers are present if allowed to grow. As the season progresses, there will be later species. We are now in mid-June. We've 2 species of damselflies around the pond. I know them as the red and blue. I don't know if they reproduce with their coloured cousins, but I can sit here and just observe them for hours. And this glorious weather continues through most of June. The meadowsweet has colonised the damper areas around the pond, and along with the clover and the bird's foot trefoil, they really do attract the bees. At the back of the door casing surrounding the garage door, the bumblebees have built a nest. They've gained entry where the concrete has broken away. That was the first of 2 discoveries in July. And under the stone patio along the side of the pond, a colony of tiny ants have gained access where the stone slabs have settled, but I won't be repointing them and blocking off their access. I see we've got young dunnocks and a much rarer visitor, the siskin. We are now in the 4th week in July. In the lawn, the self-heel has finished flowering, and it just looks like we've an odd spur of knapweed now, lesser knapweed, which is now coming into flower. And I think this will be the last flower in the meadow this year. This water lily hasn't flowered for about 10 years since I cut it back when I was cleaning the pond out. I think the variety is James Bryden. This afternoon I'm going to concentrate around the edges of the pond to see if there's any young froglets leaving it. It's about the right time of year now, end of July. It was earlier in April when the frog spawn hatched, and now we have another generation of young frogs. It looks like the solitary bees have finished their egg laying now because all the holes are blocked up, ready for the young to emerge next year. We are just witnessing a female common hawker dragonfly laying her eggs in our pond. This is what wildlife gardening is all about. This is the Crossley, a Lucifer. Very decorative in the garden, but I'm not sure whether it attracts any insects. I've just seen a common butterfly land on our buddleia. They are around in our area, but this is the first sighting in our garden. The peacock, small tortoise shell and red emeralds are also around, but as yet they are far fewer than previous years. A wetter period at the end of July. It's surprising what's about in the garden in this drizzly weather. Exploring in the rain gives just a sample of what wildlife is present in the darker, damper corners. We are now in mid-August. At this time of year, the pond becomes choked with pondweed, so I've removed some, and by leaving it on the side of the pond, it allows the aquatic life to return to the water. The ants that have been living under our patio slabs have become very excited this morning because the male drones and virgin queens are being sent out to mate and start new colonies. After the mating, the males will die and the new queens will remove their wings and start a new colony. Within an hour, it's all over. Up in Lancashire, there's not many evenings in the year that I can sit out and enjoy the moment, just enjoying the ambience of the garden in the golden evening light. And if you listen carefully, the sounds of croaking frogs can be heard hidden in the nooks and crannies around the garden. In late October, after the lawn's last cut, another experiment to improve the diversity of the lawn, to weaken the coarser grasses. In August, I went up into the back meadow and I collected a bit of yellow rattle. Whether I should have done, I don't know, but this morning now the seeds have dried, I've shaken them all into this sand. I'm going to distribute them and rake them into the lawn. Hopefully, in the spring, after the winter frost, they'll germinate and I'll have yellow rattle in my lawn. It's the 7th of December and the first frost of the winter. It's frozen the ponds over this morning and I think we're in for a few days of keen, cold, frosty weather. The last of the wild orchid spikes are still standing and the rudbeckia has just about made it. The low winter sunshine just manages to light up the garden with its beams of sunlight shining between the houses. It manages to bring the last bit of warmth to our north-facing garden. The last herb Robert flower just clings on. It's now important to feed our wild birds with Joel Ashton's excellent Wild Your Garden special seed mix with its 8 ingredients. As yet, we haven't had any special visitors, just our old favourites which live in our garden and the surrounding area. The 10th of December, and the first dusting of snow brings a touch of winter magic to the garden. We are continuing to ensure that the bird feeders are kept topped up. We leave the plants standing until March. This gives the garden a pleasing atmospheric structure, as well as giving many places for the garden insects to overwinter. The hoarfrost adds more special magic to our garden. The next generation of solitary bees lay protected and are developing in the specially drilled holes and will emerge during next summer. It's been a keen frost to freeze over our stream. Now I don't advocate this, but this pond is only shallow, but it'll stand my weight, and it hasn't been like this for several years. There's a special beauty in every season of the year, and as our garden shuts down for the winter and our gardening year draws to a close on our shortest days of the year, we wish every one of you a very happy new year. And if you are like us, we are looking forward into 2023 for another year of Wild Your Garden.